Hey, what's going on to all of my Geminis? So, you Geminis have got the Chariot, the Five of Pentacles, the Two of Cups, the Nine of Cups, the Queen of Swords, the Ace of Swords, the Devil, the Hierophant, the Justice, and last but not least, we have the Eight of Wands. Okay, so Five of Pentacles, Two of Cups. Okay, so a lot of you Geminis right now kind of haven't really been finding what it is that you want. So a lot of you taking time to know better what you want. Not really going out on dates, not really kicking it with anybody, kind of taking it easy. The Five of Pentacles, Two of Cups. Wanting a relationship with a strong foundation. Okay. Wanting someone to put in effort. Wanting for there to be some sort of commonality between the two of you. You know, person needs to have a certain group of particular traits in order for you and this person to somehow be in a relationship, to somehow get to know each other. The Nine of Cups and the Queen of Swords. The Nine of Cups is about how a lot of you Geminis at this time, you've noticed that you're confident when a lot of you are by yourselves, and a lot of you start to get to know each other, right? And you get to, how do I say this? Not get to know each other, you get to know yourselves. You get to know who you are, right? And you're really confident when it comes to that. But a lot of you are kind of kicking yourselves because a lot of you are like, right, with this Queen of Swords, a lot of you are kind of kicking yourselves because a lot of you are like, but why is it so difficult for me to get to know myself as I'm in a relationship? And the reason for that is because, number one, you're running away from your heart. A lot of times, Geminis really want one person, right? More, typically to be in a relationship with. But sometimes, like I said, Geminis can be confusing. And because of that, a lot of times Geminis don't necessarily get what they intended on. Not only that too, but a lot of times the people whom they end up being with are scumbags. So a lot of the Geminis end up having to start from scratch. A lot of you Geminis also need to start understanding that what you've got going on is that you're going through a time right now where you're going through an evolutionary point in time where a lot of you Geminis are actually starting to get or speak to the real problem. A lot of you Geminis are crisscrossed in relationships because you kind of think you know who you are when you're not in a relationship and you're single, but when you are in a relationship, you have a hard time being able to decipher how to still have that relationship and at that healthy relationship and at the same time still have that me time. And a lot of you Geminis, that's something that you're going to have to learn to work out. You may have some form of dependency issue, and you may be compensating for that dependency issue by trying to be detached, even though you really want that person there. And It's okay. But see, the thing is that people are using that against you when you get yourself into a relationship, and you get yourself into a relationship with someone who's not necessarily the best person for you. They're using that against you. They are. Because what's happening here is that you feel like that, right? But then when you allow yourself to open up, a lot of people end up taking advantage of that. When they do see you opening up, you usually open up to the wrong people, the dysfunctional people, because you think that these people get you. And what they do and they don't get you. They get you in the sense that they're dysfunctional, just like you used to be. But they don't get you in the sense that a lot of you Geminis may be doing the work. And there are no friends out here. You know what I mean? There are no friends when it comes to dysfunctional people. There are no friends out here. Specifically, because I want to be accurate. When it comes to dysfunctional people, whoever they may be, there is no friends out here. So you may be thinking to yourselves that you got yourself a confidant, right? A person that you can really trust. But in actuality, it turns out to be beef or problems between the two of you. Now, excuse me, the Ace of Swords and the Devil is all about how, because I'm thinking about just kind of what this stuff means. So don't trip if I'm kind of not zoning out, but really kind of seeing what's going on. So the Devil and the Ace of Swords is that two things. Number one, a lot of times the people who come to you are dysfunctional individuals. They are very dysfunctional. They're trying to give you cheap thrills, quick, cheap thrills and a laugh to be able to get you to give them what it is that they want. And also, you Geminis got to get better learned at seeing who's honest out here and who's not. Because you have the Devil, which means these will be people who will be dressed up to the nines, looking, dapper, real clean, real nice, real neat. But at the same time, they're very manipulative. And these are some of the people who you used to hang out with. But remember, there are no friends when people are dysfunctional. There are no allies. There are no honor among thieves when it comes to dysfunctional people. Then you have the Hierophant. So what do some of you Geminis do? What are some of the things that some of you Geminis may be doing, or some of the things that you can be doing? Get right with your spiritual value. What do you believe? Right? Because you're trying to repair yourself. What do you believe? What is your internal value? Get right with your health. A lot of times Gemini walk around very skinny. Not all the time, but a lot of times Geminis have a propensity, where their physical bodies is very lanky and like skinny. You know what I mean? You may want to tighten that up. Start working out, start lifting weights, start exercising. The Justice, right? The Justice and the Eight of Wands. Create some new boundaries. Know what red flags are. Understand what red flags are. Understand them from a better perspective so you can know the differences when you see someone who's coming at you and they're like this, all dapper, fly, cute, whatever the situation may be. You're able to know who these people are, so that when they start wilding out, you can just leave. right? When they start showing you these signs, you can just leave because you know what they look like and you know what's coming next. Because people who usually are dysfunctional and they about to betray you or do something real funny style, really disrespectful, really off the wall, they usually show you red flags, or they usually try to butter you up. And what I mean when I say they usually try to butter you up is they try to tell you, just blow smoke up your butt, tell you that, you're the best thing since sliced bread. They like you, they love you, butter you up, just treating you very well. And then it's this crash. So you have to be very careful with that. You have to know what the red flags are. Because usually when you met one dysfunctional person, this is why it's kind of good sometimes to kind of ride the wave of as long as it's not, becoming too costly, if you catch my drift. But this is why it's good to kind of ride the wave to see how dysfunctional a person can get, so that you can learn all of the trappings. Like I remember myself where I knew this cancer crab, right? And I'm not going to say this person's name, but I would intentionally see, because this person would come over, ask me, you know what I mean, to light them up, right? Light them up. And I was like, okay. And it came to a point where this person would get up, leave, and they would do it so much. Me being a Virgo, I started to notice that there was a pattern. And what happened is that I was just like, okay, this person keeps doing it over and over. So what I did is that I started putting this person to the test without saying anything that they're in a test, where I started giving them cash to see if they have any kind of shame and dignity. And sure enough, take it with their nose up in the air. And it came to a point where I was looking at it and I was just saying to myself, this person's got some issues, so you can learn something from that. What am I trying to say? What I'm trying to say is that I eventually hung out with this person to see how far down the rabbit hole, what was every tactic, every manipulative trick that a person can play on somebody else, every last one of them. And I looked at that and I was able to see that and was like, let me pay attention to see this and go through that pain, so that when I'm ready to get out of this ride, when I'm ready to get off, right? Like the bus, right? You just press the button, right? Or in some cases, you press the button down here. You're ready to get off the bus. You can get off the bus. And what happened is that I watched that cancer crab play all types of manipulative tricks. And by the time I was done, whenever it is that people started to play those same type of games, even though it wouldn't catch me off guard, but people would still run them on me, and I would look at them doing it, I would start realizing this is just like such and such. This is just like such and such. I remember this manipulative tricks that this person was playing, this manipulative games. That was just like such and such that this person was doing. This was just like such and such. Why do all of these people seem to play the same game and run the same game and get on the same way and act the same way? What is up with that? And then with more time and experience, Geminis, it started to really dawn on me of, look, you can't get me with these manipulative games because I've seen all of it. So you might as well stop. And then let's clarify the justice. And then when I started to see that people kept playing these manipulative tricks anyway, even though I told them I'm paying attention to everything that they're doing, then it got to a point where I had to trump it. I had to, like cards and stuff like this. Not the, not the whole political thing, because I don't get into the whole politics. But I had to show, not show the person, but they, as much control as they thought that they had, I was able to just kind of slip out of it, and they got confused. So to clarify the justice, you have the Queen of Wands, the Nine of Cups, the Ace of Cups, the Devil. So the Queen of Wands, the Nine of Cups, these are about how a lot of you need to understand that what you've got going on is you've got a situation where people are going to try to play as many games as you'll let them play. You just don't get yourself caught up in the mix. Once you start observing them as showing you that they have any kind of red flags, it's time for you to bounce. The Ace of Cups and the Devil, that's self-explanatory. These people will have their hand out for a number of reasons. They'll have their hand out, with a sense of superiority, or what they want you to believe is superiority. But they'll also have their hand out in offering you this cup of love. Don't be taking this cup of love. Why? It's not sincere. You take this cup of love, and this cup of love comes with a whole lot of manipulation with this. If that's not what it is that you Geminis want, and ownership too. This person will think that they own you, possessive. If that's what you Geminis don't want, I suggest you stay away from them. But that's pretty much it. Comment on the video, like the video, subscribe to the YouTube channel. We finally reached 3,000 subscribers, baby. Trying to go ahead and get to 3,500. Let's get to 3,500 subscribers, 500 subscribers more. Y'all so amazing. Appreciate y'all. Hit that subscribe button. Hit the like button. Hit the notification bell. Set the notification bell to all so you can be notified whenever I drop these videos. Peace.